Imagine a life where the sun doesn't shine, plants don't grow, and taking a simple breath is no longer so simple. Sunshine, nature, even oxygen are all things that we in past generations have taken for granted. Neglecting and abusing the planet that is our home has taken its toll, and if we do not make serious changes, this will be the life that we have to live. Ugly. But Marissa, I recycle. Every Wednesday, I put my recycling bin out on the curb. My family, my friends, we recycle paper, plastics, aluminum, whatever. Hey, I've even drinking from a paper straw. What more can you expect of me? As much as these small gestures of responsibility are appreciated, something much more impactful is required in order to undo all the mayhem that our pollution has caused for the planet. Not only mayhem on the planet itself, but all those that inhabit it. I know we've all heard the typical soapbox routine of why we should recycle, and we've all been somewhat impervious to it, but I really think that we should all pay attention. Yeah. Okay, there are several different types of pollution, but we're gonna go over the two most common and avoidable types, and that is air and water pollution. According to the World Health Organization, 9 out of 10 people breathe in polluted air every single day. These are some common causes of air pollution, so car exhaust, fertilizer, even pesticides that they spray on the food that we eat. Not only is it not good for us to breathe in, but it's also harmful to our bodies when we consume it. According to the Sacramento Metropolitan Air Quality Management District, the following list of people are most susceptible to harmful effects of inhaling polluted air. It's going to be these people. High levels of pollutants can cause health issues of the start of the lungs, and if there's a period of long exposure, decreased lung function, emphysema, asthma. If you breathe in polluted air on an everyday basis, you're either going to wind up with emphysema, you're going to build constricted airways, not going to be able to breathe. That's that day. Okay. Think of 10 people that you know personally and picture 9 of them suffering from serious heart problems because of dirty air. Okay, the Earth consists of 75% water and 17 billion gallons of plastic are dumped in it every single year, according to the National Geographic. Plastic is cheap and easy to manufacture, but it is detrimental to marine life if it is not disposed of properly. So everyday things that we use every day, plastic bags, those can last up to 20 years in the ocean. Plastic bottles, styrofoam cups, these last a long time, really bad for animals and stuff. So does anybody remember the BP oil spill of 2010? Oh yeah, so that was 3 months of nonstop oil draining into the Gulf of Mexico. So it's 3 billion barrels of oil in the Gulf of Mexico, which isn't even that big body of water. They're now facing a $13 million lawsuit, and not only, and it killed a whole bunch of dolphins. Like, look at that. Okay, so not only did it impact the life of all the animals and organisms that live in the Gulf, but it also affected the economies of the cities that thrive from tourism. Okay. According to Cynthia Sartha, Executive Director of Gulf Restoration Network, the potential impacts of its presence may plague us for decades. These are the list of animals that polluted water wreaks havoc on. So we have sea turtles, this pelican with some nasty shit in its stomach, and then you got whales too. Okay, so now that you can see just how much toxic waste is polluting the planet, we can move on to a solution. You may be thinking, Marissa, how can we make a difference when there's over 17 billion gallons of trash in the ocean? Like, what can we do? The first place that we can all ensure change is at home. Being sure to recycle all papers, plastics, aluminums, cardboard, everything can be recycled. You have no idea. And making sure all your friends and family are recycling too. In 2007, Office Depot created a list of the top 10 most effective ways we can recycle that would make the biggest difference on the environment, and these are just a few. When you're getting your next new TV or computer, either sell it or recycle it. The cost to dispose of electronics and like technology is really detrimental to the environment, and if you sell it, you can make, make some few bucks or whatever. And then rechargeable batteries. 1,000 regular batteries equal the capacity of one rechargeable battery. And then each piece of plastic, anybody has plastic in here? Everything will have one of these triangles on it, and that indicates that this can be recycled, and then each one stands for like a different type of plastic. Okay, so the earth has literally given us the ability to sustain life, so the least that we can do is volunteer to help keep it clean. Keep Florida Beautiful is just one of the many affiliates where you can go to the beach, pick up trash, especially after spring break. We've all seen, how badly the beaches are affected after a bunch of drunk kids. So now that everyone is doing everything they can at an individual level, how can we draw national attention to this state of emergency our planet is in? Vote. Your vote matters. As an 18-year-old, it is your civil duty to make a difference with your vote. Follow elections and do your homework on the candidates and see which are talking about the problems that most matter to you. Despite President Trump removing the U.S. from the Paris Agreement, there are several state government representatives that are huge advocates for recycling. One of them is Mayor Bloomberg of New York City. He meets with the 20 most populous cities' mayors, and they discuss ways to make their cities more eco-friendly. So solar panels on buildings, electric power vehicles. According to Aaliyah Hag, Deputy Director of NRDC's Clean Power Plan, change only happens when individuals take action. There's no way if it doesn't start with the people. Global warming is a huge problem, and there's finally national attention being brought to it because the people spoke up. And then of course we have the ocean cleanup, where they've created this drifting system through the ocean. It's powered on wind, so it doesn't cost any energy to run it, and they aim for a plastic-free ocean by 2050, which is pretty awesome. And you can donate to the ocean cleanup and other organizations with similar statements to keep them moving forward. Okay, so the good news is that there's finally national attention being brought to an imminent problem, but the bad news is we have a long way to go. So one way of paying a lot of attention to recycling, I used to live in Loveland, Colorado, where I worked at the recycling center, which was part of the local government or whatever. And you could recycle anything and everything there, so concrete, porcelain, glass, grass, lawn trimmings, electronics, refrigerators, everything, you could recycle it. Not only did the city make millions of dollars from returning these things to companies that know how to dispose and reuse these items, but it also provided a lot of jobs, and it spread knowledge throughout the community of how important it is to recycle. Imagine a world that cared about keeping the earth healthy to sustain the human race and the wildlife that inhabit it. Happy Earth. As you can see, and as you have heard during this speech, our planet and our future is in grave danger, and if we ignore this current problem any longer, action has to be taken, first at an individual level and then on a national level. Learn your local state government reps, find different organizations and around the community into cleaning up beaches, parks, whatever, and help make the world a greener and healthier place. As the NRDC has said, healing the planet starts in your garage, in your kitchen, and at your dining room table.